Hey everybody, this is Lance from ThetaTraders.com. In this video, I'm going to go over the volume profile, how I use a volume profile to find support resistance levels, looking at the point of control where there's a lot of volume at a certain area, and how to sell options with it. So let's get right to it. Volume profile to find support and resistance levels. This is one way to use support and resistance. You want to be able to have other factors along with them, but this has been shown to be a pretty strong support and resistance in many cases. So we're going to be understanding the volume profile. Volume profile is a histogram. These are these greenish bars here, and it's displayed on the price axis. So this is for Adobe. I went over this on Sunday's video. If you haven't seen the last video I did, we looked at the volume at different prices. This is not based on time. This is based on price. So if you're on Thinkorswim, these show the volumes at a certain time period. This shows how many buyers and sellers there were at a specific price. So if you look at it here, this bar here is one of the highest amounts of volume, and that happened a little bit past 344. The larger the bar, the more volume was traded at this price level. So if you see at 395, we had a lot of volume. So the three main things to look at are the point of control. Point of control is the highest traded volume, and that acts as a price magnet. If we have a lot of buyers and sellers at the point of control, then if the price gets to that point again, there's a good chance that we're going to see a lot of movement there and buyers and sellers again. You could have high volume nodes. Those are consolidation zones. That's typically a strong support or resistance. So if we're above the high volume node and then it starts to fall below into that zone, there's a good support level possibly there. If we're below the high volume node, and then we get up to it, then that could be a possible strong resistance level. You also have the low volume nodes. When there's not much volume at a certain price, those could be quick movements. That's where you could have breakouts or rejections. Because there's not many buyers and sellers there in the past, it could easily go through those prices. When the point of control is reached, buyers and sellers might have interest there. And then they might take that interest again when it presents buying and selling opportunities. So here we look at a chart of Apple. And then if you look at the price volume profile here, 148.25 was the point of control where we had a lot of volume. We have some high node here, and then we have some low nodes like down here where there's not much volume. Relatively sideways trading along the support line. You can see there's multiple points where Apple got to this particular price at 148.25 because that's the point of control. Now this shows a typical area of support. So if you're looking currently in this chart, we're really close to that point of control. If it got down to the 148 again, there could be a good chance that it bounces up from there. Now how do you find the support and resistance? Those high volume nodes, again, are strong supports and resistance. The point of control is typically a mean reversion target. So if we're slightly above the point of control, it could mean revert into that point. And then those low volume nodes are the breakout zones. So if we look at SPY here, this was on Sunday, it was at 600.83. If you go down to 590 here, we have near a point of control. It's just a high volume node here where there's a good amount of volume at the 590. If we got down to the 590, that could act as a support or resistance and then move up. Because the prices below it were low volume nodes, there was a good chance that it could get down to the 590 relatively quickly if we had some bearish indications. And then if we got below the 590 and it broke past it, we have some low volume nodes, the 580, 570, and then if you go to around 562 or so, that was the point of control, and that's where we had a large amount of volume here. When it gapped up, we essentially made a new volume node here. So if we got down to around that 590 and broke below it, there was a chance that we could get down to the 562. Now, how do you trade with this? You don't want to use just the volume profile. You want to combine it with other indicators, like the RSI, for instance, candles, and I'll do a lot of videos on different candle setups like doji candles, bullish engulfing, and whatnot. Or you can look at moving averages. That helps confirm what you're seeing with the volume profile. Typically, if you have a few different indicators all confirming a certain price or a certain support resistance, that could be a stronger level where it would be a better support. This also works on any time frame. If you want to do quicker trades, you could do them in 5 or 15-minute charts for scalping. I typically do daily or weekly trades for more of a swing trade where you could get a little bit further out of the money on credit spreads, for instance, or strangles. And we'll go over those different option strategies in future videos. So start using that profile today. Like, comment, subscribe for more tips. And I do have some extra information on the ebook strategy channel for sample charts and how I do the volume profile. Again, this is Lance from ThetaTraders.com. Thanks for watching this video. And I'll do another update video on Friday on some of the results we got this week. We had a really strong week on covered strangles and credit spreads. Have a good one.